Hi everyone, Rainbow here. It's been a while since I've made a video. This is talking about late. How many of y'all like being late? Raise your hand if you enjoy being late. Raise your hand if you think it's fashionable or it makes a statement to be late. Well, what kind of statement are you making? I used to be late every day in my younger years, in my childhood. And even as an adult, my dad hated it because he was in the military and he's very punctual. Even going to church, he would get so upset with our entire family being late that he would drive by himself to church. And yeah, it's pretty sad because we'd go there for spiritual food and commune and be loving and peaceful together, but he'd be so mad because it wasn't that he was embarrassed, it was more the principle of it. Hey, why can't you be on time? Anyways, I got inspired to make this video because a lot of people don't respect time. And you're probably thinking, oh, this is one of Rainbow's values because she's talking about it. So, how many of y'all watched that movie? I believe it was called Jupiter Rising with Mila Kunis. Instead of people fighting and killing over money like people do today, the most precious commodity in that movie is time. And they actually had these little, I don't know, maybe like this size, like juice bottle size capsules that were luminescent, and it was holding time. So you can always get more money, but you can never get more time. What are you doing in your life that is in alignment with your bucket list? Or do you even have a bucket list? Some kind of list that things you want to do before you die. Are you doing things? Are you living your life in a way that you're regretting right now or that you think you may regret? So, when did I start to be early? Not on time. Because a lot of you have probably heard, hey, if you're on time, then you're early. If you're early, you're on time. But if you're on time, then you're late. So I had I have a lot of people say, "Oh, okay, when you walk into a job, you don't and you're supposed to be there, let's say at 12, at let's just say 12 noon, for example. You don't just walk in, stroll in at 12 and then it takes you what, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes just to get ready. No, you're expected to perform by 12. Use the bathroom, whatever you need, get settled in, check in, do all this and that. Whether you get paid for it or not is not the issue. When when people when people do that, it's being selfish. They're not being their best selves, and it affects everyone else. It affects all the other employees, all the other customers. It affects everyone in the world, literally. And a lot of people say, oh, it's no big deal. Well, how you do anything is how you do everything. Do you want to have on your epitaph, on your tombstone when you die, oh, my life, it was no big deal? So, being late, what does this mean psychologically? Well, I've heard it could mean a lot of different perspectives, such as, oh, I'm late because I really don't want to be here. I resent it, I resist it, so I'm late. I'm late because, let's see, I've also heard I'm insecure. And I'm going to be late, so everyone in the meeting or all my friends and employees, whatever, so everyone can wait for me because it makes me feel special. Okay, when you impose on other people's time, that's stressful. So, or it could, being late could also mean that you don't respect yourself. Okay, you don't have enough self respect. That, of course, people who do things to themselves, it affects other people around them, it affects their environment, the surroundings. And when when you're late, what image do you want to portray? I had a turning point in my life when I honestly don't remember what the turning point was, but the more I progress and delve more and more into personal development ever since I became an entrepreneur, I said, okay, I'm going to get rid of this habit this year. All right, I'll get rid of this habit this week, today, this month. What have you? Just always growing. I'm highly passionate about personal development. So, what kind of reputation do you want to have, if whether you're an employee or a business owner or an entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever? Do you want people to be like, oh yeah, that person's always late? Well, that kind of, that does put a bad taste in people's mouth when they think of that, when they remember that, when they associate you with that, and when it rolls off the tongue. When those words roll out of your mouth, anyone else's mouth. I don't want to have that reputation. Um, the last time I was late for something, I was actually attending a big gathering, and we left, wow, 2 hours or more early. And we walked in 20 minutes late. We got lost. It's like, oh my goodness, we could have driven to the edge of the state. We could have driven to another state because that's how lost we got out in the boondocks. So, another another reason that people could be late is because, okay, they honestly got lost or had some kind of um, honest, genuine hangups. But I'm not talking about that. What I'm discussing here is the habit. What is your habit? Are you normally late? Is that your thermostat? Why am I talking about this? Well, if you have a mission, if you have, like, on a scale from 1 to 10, if you have a big goal, a dream, a drive that is at an 8, 9, or 10, meaning 0 is, I really don't care. 10 is, oh, this is do or die. This is what I eat, sleep, and breathe. This mission, this vision that I have, this these goals, dreams, and desires. 8, 9, and 10. When your why is that big, your life purpose, your mission, your why, when it's that big, then you'll do anything to change, grow, and improve yourself because you're doing it for something, a mission and a vision for people. You're doing it for something, or even the environment. You're doing it for something outside of yourself. And when you do that, it's something bigger, and it can carry and pull you through your challenges of change, of growth and expansion, and being able to achieve that success of whatever impact it is you want to make in the world. And if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, what's this about being late? And you don't really have a big why, then, well, your drive to change or to heal or improve anything, whether it be the habit of being late or any other habits like gossiping or procrastination, it doesn't matter. Any habit that you want to break and change, eliminate and release and replace with something better, you're going to make yourself feel bad if you keep failing. You're going to feel bad in this sick cycle, how's it, catch 22 cycle, if you don't have a why. And sure, other people's great whys are, hey, I'm doing this for my children, or I'm doing this for this whatever outside of me, the environment or this group of people. When you know that you've found your life purpose, your why, or different paths that lead up to your life purpose, you'll be so turned on that it's not going to fall off the wayside like other short-lived desires or passions that you may have. It'll stay with you, and it just gets easier when you commit 100% to doing your life purpose. When you're half in and half out, that's when you struggle. That's when you're actually fighting yourself and it's harder. But no holds barred, when you're just, hey, you go straight in all the way. I'm not turning around, I'm not turning back. Failure is not an option. Just whatever, through hell or high water, it doesn't matter. You just commit 100%, you just go all the way. That's when it gets the easiest, because you'll have that higher energy, you'll have that passion, that drive to pull you through any and all challenges, to get to serve that goal or that dream. How does this relate to being late? Yes, I go off on a lot of tangents, and I relate, the microcosm to the macrocosm. I talk about all these different layers, big, like mixed up spaghetti, all at the same time. So being late is just one snippet of achieving the things that you want, whether it be things you can touch or other things like peace within yourself, peace of mind. And when I mentioned that when you're late, you are hurting yourself and you're hurting others. Even if it's unintentional, you're hurting others around you. You're wasting their time. You're making them angry. It is rude and disrespectful. And sure, you may, whether you see it as rude and disrespectful or not, it is part of people's energy. Time is energy. Time, space, you respect people's time, space, money, personal space, just everything about people, their name, their whatever, their opinions, their values. And time is very, very valuable and important. The mass consciousness doesn't really realize this, but when you are living your purpose, when you already know what that is, like at an 8, 9, or 10, then you live with this sense of urgency. Like, mediocrity is not an option. You just know that you give your all and your standards are so high. I mean, sure, at the same time, I know this sounds like opposite, contradictory. Yes, you can be flexible and forgive yourself, but at the same time, your standards are so high, because when you aim so high, then at least, like, what do you say? Oh, well, when you aim for the stars, at least you'll fall back on the moon. I don't know if I got that backwards, but you get my point. When what was I trying to say? When you're late, you're hurting others. When you're early, there's so many benefits. And if you don't care about this, if you don't care about time, then you probably haven't found your urgency to live, your zest for living, your purpose for living. You'll know you've found it because when you wake up early in the morning, you can't sleep. You'll just be, oh, I have to get out of bed. I have to do this. drives me. It just turns you on, and you're just so happy to do it. It's like there is no work. Everything about it is play. And everyone has a different purpose, life purpose. So you have to find your own. Okay, going back to early. We talked about being late. The opposite, going back to now, touching upon being early. When you're early, and I'm especially talking to people who are already high achievers, who are already entrepreneurs, activists, people who have something to live for, who already know what they're living for, at a higher urgency. You have this drive that you want to influence and impact and succeed and just be of service at higher levels, that you can't settle for being late. You can't settle for being on time. You have these habits of millionaires, of enlightened millionaires. You have these habits of people who are into power. What do I mean? So you may think, oh, this person's a genius, this person's an expert, this person is wealthy, this person is influential. Why? What are these certain attributes that these type of people that I just named have in common? Well, one of these characteristics is being early. Okay, when you're early for a job interview, don't you look more positive? Like, hey, I'm really serious. Take me seriously. I do want the job. I am capable. I am the strongest candidate. Versus, oh yeah, I'm late. I just rolled in here. I don't care about you. I don't respect your time. I don't want this job. Don't trust me. When you don't respect time, how will people respect and trust you? When you want to change the world and you have something to live for, whether it's a non-profit, for-profit, whatever it is that your mission is, money can't buy character. You have to build your own character. And one of the traits is being early. When you're consistently early, what I'm talking about is the habit of being early. Like, oh yeah, that person's always early. I know and trust that they're consistently early. Like, 99% of their life. You are more relaxed when you're early. You can arrive more relaxed, settle in, ease in. You're more composed, centered, grounded. And you're able to make better decisions and choices because you're in that relaxed, expansive state that can be grounded, centered, and quiet to tap into what your higher self, your intuition, what spirit is guiding you. Make better decisions and choices when you're in that state of flow. You're alert, yet you're relaxed at the same time. When you're early, you have a higher capacity to respond versus other people who just ignore it, whether they're callous or they just don't have the capacity because they're already stressing out and frazzled, so they don't even respond. So they look like a jerk because, okay, I can't take care of that because I'm barely functioning here and taking care of myself. They're just rushing in the door and tumbling in at work and just, not really a reliable person, not really someone, sure, even if they're physically there, they're not emotionally there to receive you or listen to you, let alone help you solve a problem or conflicts or problems. When you're early, you have a higher capability to win, to succeed, to resolve anything in everything faster, stronger, better, more efficiently, swiftly, gracefully, easily, efficiently. Why? Because being early stems from the consciousness of more than enough. What does this mean? More than enough. Am I just talking about money? No. I'm talking about your whole lifestyle, this whole energy consciousness. When you have more than enough padding, you purposely build in more than enough time. Like you'll add extra 20% time to be early and account for all these unexpected things that, well, you build it in because you expect the unexpected. That way you can get done whatever your employer requires you to get done in the allotted amount of time, because you already put that extra padding, 20% padding of time, to account for all the other glitches, whether it be conflicts with other people, relationships, or glitches with the technology, or any other things that may have been overlooked or fell through the cracks. Like, oh, you forgot to deposit the checks last night. So, all right, make a quick trip and go do it. Something like that. All right, I've given you many examples of being late, being early, whether it be in your financial realm, in your time realm, and who it's important to, who it affects, how and why. What can you gain from this versus the consciousness of I'm always losing? I mean, there are people who are always consistently late. They run and they're always running. They're always out of breath. You can't really talk to them. You can't rely on them. When you need a favor, they're just, stumbling in, or they're the ones who are needy and asking for the favors. Again, this energy, this mindset, this programming consciousness is running on lack. They lack the time, they lack the respect to show up early, let alone be on time. They lack the strength or fortitude. They lack the, the morals or the work ethic to excel. See, I'm talking about higher standards. When you have this padding in the time, 20%, this consciousness of more than enough, one of my mentors taught me this. When you put padding of 20% or more in money, then you don't have to worry about extra additional fees in whether it be paying the bills or purchasing other products or services. Taxes, penalties, anything unexpected. So when I'm talking about this concept of being late, of being early, I'm talking about a habit, about 99% of your life. I'm talking about the habit. And I'm talking about the consciousness. When you purposely plan for this more than enough, you feel expansive. You will attract more fortune to you. And I don't just mean fortune and money. Yeah, when people trust you as a business owner, you will attract more money. When you're stumbling in and late and everything is disheveled, all your documents or, when people interact with you, oh, did you lose your documents? Do you have your mind in order? Or are you just stumbling in your conversations on the phone or in person? People will trust you when you have more than enough, because you purposely build that in. 20% or more of, hey, I do have more than enough time. I do have more than enough health or energy, stamina. I do have more than enough money, because you purposely build it in and it goes in alignment. How do you say, as above, so below? Well, so within, so without. Okay, you become congruent when you do that in your physical affairs, and you do that in your time space continuum. You do that in your thoughts, you know, time, money, and your thoughts, your aura, your physical body, everything becomes expansive, relaxed. You become more powerful. Power is just merely the capability to focus and achieve results. So I hope you got to pick up some nuggets about being late and being early, and go above and beyond the time and see the intention behind it and how it can help you and help people trust you more and help yourself trust and help you trust yourself more. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I don't even know how long this video is, but thanks for listening. Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe. Rainbow Heart Freedom Eagle, I'm signing out. Healing, it is all that is. And by the way, you can check out our marketing website, abundance9.com, and or our personal development with Shamanic Healing Edge at baronrainbow.com. All right, that's it. Good night.